When we leave Puerto Rico, it is as if we are caught in a reverse Wizard of Oz scene. We go from brilliant technicolor to grit gray, black and white. The world that was lush and hot with life, sunshine, bright flowers, birds, and whistling frogs turns to lifeless, cold ash.
She was only 5 when paradise disappeared. In Puerto Rico, little Rosita Dolores Alverío, later known to the world as Rita Moreno, ran free under mango trees, sipped coconut milk, and basked in the warm arms of family. Her world was color, warmth, and love. Silken flan, coquí songs at night, laughter echoing through a sun-drenched valley. Everything smelt sweet. Mommy's perfume, the sugarcane, the soil after rain. But then one day, paradise ended.
My mother and I arrive in winter, and I thought, this is crazy. What have we done? But my 22-year-old pretty, full-lipped, full-hipped mother had enough of Juncos, Puerto Rico, her unfaithful husband, and her old life, which did not look like paradise to her.
New York was supposed to be a land of opportunity. That's what Mommy believed when she boarded the ship alone with her daughter. But to 5-year-old Rosita, it was a land of fear. The moment they stepped off the boat, the world turned cold, literally and spiritually. Snow swirled around her thin shoes. The skies were gray. The people even grayer. No warm smiles. No one spoke her language. At first, she couldn't even scream for help. In a terrifying hospital scene, burning with fever, Rosita found herself alone in a sterile bed, surrounded by strangers who jabbered in a tongue she didn't understand.
Later, I would find out it was chickenpox, a common, but at that time, very serious childhood disease.
In her Bronx tenement, the walls were thin, and so were the mattresses. The nights were filled with biting bedbugs and freezing air. Her new home was nothing like the island she left behind.
What would the unknown America offer that I did not already have? I was running and laughing. All life was warm, sweet, a dance, a game. I had my own Mami and Paco and my grandfather, my abuelo. Everybody loves me then and gives me treats. Everything I taste is delicious.
Mommy worked long hours, and the love that once felt warm and constant now came in hurried, exhausted gestures. Her mother had changed. America had changed her. Rosita was no longer surrounded by family who doted on her, but by strangers who looked down on her. Her accent made her a target. Her brown skin made her feel less than. Even the way she dressed, neat and colorful, made her stand out in a city that felt cold and colorless. Loneliness gripped her like fever. No one cared that she was scared. No one held her when the world felt too big.
Now, I can see my mother as a heroine, a true pioneer, striking out to a new country to create a new life. She arrived on the mainland very early in the history of Puerto Ricans in New York City. 1936 was long before the major migration of the Puerto Ricans in the 50s. In 1936, there were only a few outposts for our kind in New York City, and we were in one of them, the Bronx.
She learned quickly to keep her feelings hidden. Because being herself, a little Puerto Rican girl who spoke Spanish and missed her grandfather's laughter, was not safe. She learned to hide the terror in her voice, the shame of being called dirty, the sting of not being understood, and the ache of not understanding why they had left behind a world where she was loved so deeply.
I learned that I was the wrong race, that light skin was better than dark skin. Back home in Juncos, people came in all colors and shades. It didn't matter that Mommy and I were on the light side, that my abuelo Justino was dark. But here it mattered, and my light skin was not light enough. I was a running dark girl on the street, an object of ridicule later in the school.
Everywhere, Rosita was met with a silent, brutal message: "You are not wanted here." That realization sat heavy on her tiny shoulders. Even as she tried to fit in, the city's cruelty kept carving into her. But she knew better. It was America itself that bit and gnawed at her. Her voice became her shield, her imagination, her refuge. In time, she would use those tools to build a new life. But as a child, those early years were about one thing: enduring. Not dreaming, not thriving, just holding on. Even now, she remembers the voice that whispered to her in those dark moments, "You won't fool anybody." But she did. Eventually, she became Rita Moreno. She dazzled on stage, earned the world's praise, won every major award. Yet, behind the glamour and the gold, the little girl who had once sobbed alone in a hospital bed, begging in a language she didn't know for someone to care, never quite vanished. That child still lives in her memory. And she remembers her not with shame, but with awe.